Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about. And just like that, girl, it's over. Honestly, I wasn't even going to come down here and do this recap. I was just going to wait and just add episode 11 and 12 together because this episode was less than 30 minutes. Um, and then I was like, you know what? Go ahead and just do whatever you're gonna do, and we have one episode left. So I changed my mind basically, and so here we are to talk about the episode episode 11. This is almost the end of the road. And then there will be no more Carrie Bradshaw. Even though I did see online, I think it was Radar Online reported that they were trying to do a spinoff with Carrie. I don't know if that's true or not. Just because it's posted in the blogs doesn't mean that it's always true. But I did see something along those lines about them trying to continue the show somehow. Um, but I think I don't know. At this point, girl, just let it go. Even though I'm still mad that this show was coming to an end because I really did love this show. Even though there were, there were some things that definitely needed to be corrected. But anyways, it is what it is. The show is over. Um, I took a couple of notes, even though I really didn't need to because a lot didn't happen. Um, it starts out Carrie is back in her old neighborhood ordering some pies for Thanksgiving. Miranda is hosting Thanksgiving this year. And so as she's ordering her pies, there's a customer, girl, leaning over Carrie's shoulder, girl, eavesdropping, trying to see what's going on. And so she said, Miss Thing, not to Carrie, to the owner of the shop, you said that y'all were not taking any more orders for Thanksgiving desserts, for pies. And then she basically told her in a nutshell, girl, this is Carrie Bradshaw. Girl, this lady has been ordering pies for me since I opened and even when we were shut down. Okay? During the panorama. Girl, Miss Thing still came over here and purchased pies from me and didn't even pick them up. You come over here, buy 2 croissants, maybe if that a week. I said, girl, I said, girl, that's how you talking to your customers? Girl, that's how you talk to your customers, Miss Thing? I guess she said, girl, if I lose your business, it ain't gonna matter anyways, because all you do is buy 2, if that, croissants a week. I said, girl. When I tell you I was screaming though, when she was going off on the lady, baby Carrie. Did y'all see when Carrie grabbed her phone? You be uncomfortable. You be looking at your phone, don't know what you're looking at, just looking at something. Girl, then she looked, she put her phone down. Then you saw Carrie digging through her purse. Did y'all see that Coach Kiss Lock purse? It's a bag. I kind of wanted it. It's sold out. Um, it is. Girl, I finally found. Girl, I see ADHD kicking in. I was about to go off into a whole nother story about how I finally found the Coach bag that I wanted. Okay, get back to the and just like that. Um. So okay, Lisette. Oh, she bumps into Lisette. We could just wrap Lisette and Carrie up. She's walking by her old apartment, and Lisette is coming downstairs. And so Lisette invites her over. Is her name Lisette? I think her name is Lisette. Lisette invites her over, for drinks. Some of her friends are coming over. And she lets Carrie know that she feels bad because, she hasn't really stayed in touch with Carrie. I think it's been like 7 months since the last time they saw each other. Remember, they went out for drinks at some bar before. She lets me know that she was dating a guy, but it didn't last. However, it was the longest, situationship / relationship that she had ever been in. It lasted for 7 months. And then Carrie was like, I think she asked about Aiden. And I think that's when Carrie told her that her and Aiden basically broke up. And then she threw out there, mine was 22 years, something like that. And I'm like, can I say something? Girl, can I say something? Carrie, girl, irks my nerves. This is like the second time she's done this year. Okay? I'm talking like this is like a real show. This is the second time this heifer done pulled this stunt. Remember, she did it with Miranda in the kitchen, and now she's doing it again. Girl, why is Carrie acting as if her and Aiden were off and on for like a complete like Carrie is acting like there was not some big space in between her and Aiden when Aiden went off and had all types of kids. Girl, one of them is crazy. Girl, like she just wasn't married. Carrie, baby, girl, can we just call a thing a thing? Carrie may be an accomplished author, but girl, she ain't bought that house with that book money. She bought that. She bought that house with that dead money she got from Big when girl he fucked around and had a heart attack and slid down that bathroom wall because of that Peloton. Okay, be very clear. So it just amazes me how Carrie just skips over everything that's happened in her life with Big, her being married, Aiden being married, and trying to make it seem as though like they just were together like for a solid 22 years, if that makes sense. A lot has happened within those within the time that you met him up until the time that y'all broke up again the last time. Does that make sense what I'm saying? I don't know why I feel some type of way about that. And I didn't even like Big either. Big was when I said Big was ain't shit. Girl, every relationship that Carrie done been in been ghetto. Ghetto. Girl, either she get knocked upside her head by that man in Paris. Girl, either girl, Big was just tossing her every kind of which way. Girl, Aiden was a mess towards the end. Anyways. Um, okay, y'all. I want to give a shout out to my trans sisters and my trans brothers. If anyone is watching this, please don't take offense to what I'm about to say. So, Charlotte is at home, and then Rock is in a play. Rock has to dress up like a girl, basically. It's talking real. We just gonna talk. We just gonna talk plain. Okay, talk plain to me, Sheldon. We just gonna talk plain. So Rock has to dress up as a girl for the play. Baby Rock opened up that door. Miss Thing had on a old nasty bob. Old mushroom bob right here. Okay. A red dress, some red little pumps, right? And Charlotte, you know, kind of gagged because she had never really seen Rock appear like a girl. In the episode, she eventually got it made her sad because I guess she thought about what she thought Rock would be, and now Rock is not that. Okay. And it just got me to thinking like it has to be, I know that has to be, parents, y'all have these ideas of what your child is going to be, who your child is going to be. And sometimes you may be right. And then sometimes, girl, your child is the complete opposite. Like fathers, they have sons thinking their sons are going to be football players. But girl, we really want to be the cheerleader. Go, team, go! I want to be on the side with the girls, doing kicks and flips and cartwheels and splits. No, I want you on the football field. I don't want to be on the football field. I want to be on the side with the girls. I want to be over there clapping. Go, team, go! Girl, be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Girl, that's what I want to do. Okay? I want to be a cheerleader so bad in high school. No, in real life. And I would have been good too. I would have been a good cheerleader. I was so scared to try out. I remember this white guy. I still remember his name. His name was James. What grade were we in? I think 11th. And he tried out and he made it. And I used to be so jealous of him because I really wanted to like be a cheerleader. Even to the point when I got to college, I wanted to try out. But at that point, I felt like I was so far behind because in college, it's a whole nother ball game. Girl, you got to pick the girl. You got to pick bitches up and shit. Girl, I'm gonna drop the hoe. Okay. Um. Anyways, so yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so. So yeah. Well, I just felt bad for Charlotte because again, parents. you have these ideas of what your child is going to be, and then your child can be the complete opposite. And just for Charlotte, I know she probably, Charlotte is like a very girly girl. She's like a girl. Um, very feminine. And so, I know that's probably what she wanted. Like, how like sometimes fathers dream of having like a mini me. There are women out there who also dream of having a mini me and dressing them up in dresses and bows and all that shit that people say. So I got why Charlotte was mad, and I was kind of sad for her, like oh Charlotte, but but girl, it ain't happening, girl. That's not your child. Your child is Rock, so it is what it is. Anyways, I hope that makes sense what I just said. Carrie. Carrie takes her book to her publisher. She loves the book, but she hates the ending. I don't know why I got so offended. Probably because I'm single. I don't know. But it's the reality, though. Carrie's book, the ending was basically the lady ended up being alone. And the publisher really called, is that her publisher? Right? That's a publisher, right? Basically called it a romantic tragedy because it's not a happy ending. And I was just like, damn. Like people that like even in real life, there are people out there who really think that if you're alone, you're not happy. I literally had this conversation the other day, believe it or not. I had the same conversation, not what Carrie had, but I had this conversation with a friend. And we were just talking about life. And she was asking me, was I happy? And I was like, girl, yes, as happy as I've ever been. And she just couldn't, I was catching up with somebody and she just couldn't believe it. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I don't buy into the notion that in order for me to be happy, that I have to be in a relationship because there are people in relationships that are absolutely miserable. And my happiness does not depend on whether or not I'm with somebody. I'm choosing to live my life this way. Now, it could be so. It could just happen next year. I might wake up and say, you know what? I want to try to be in a relationship. I doubt it's going to happen. But like I said, girl, it could be 10 years down the line. It could be next year. It could be 20 years. I don't know. But right now, I don't. Like I said, when I wake up, girl, on my grandmother's grave, I have no desire to be in a relationship. Shout out to the girls and boys who do. I'm just saying that's not my story. Like I can honestly say that I love coming home by myself. I love walking into my apartment and there's nobody here, girl. I love not hearing any noise. Like I love it. Like I absolutely love it. So like when I see like Tracy Ellis Ross, she's a woman. I know it's different for women and men because if you're a woman, girl, and you're single, so I love the fact that she has her new show. I need to watch it. She's basically traveling by herself. And I just think it's important to see things like that because everybody is not moved to be in a relationship. And that doesn't mean that for some people who don't want to be in a relationship, because I think Tracy still dates. It's just that she does not center a relationship. She doesn't center men. Like I'm sure she ran across a man who she wanted to invest time in, she would, but that's not her. She doesn't feel a loss if because she's not in a relationship. And it just made me sad. Not it didn't really make me sad. I was just like, this is really the truth, that people really feel like if you end up alone, especially like probably really anybody, that it's a tragedy. Like no. I hope Carrie, well, I mean, she wrote the ending already. I hope she takes it back and leaves it as it is. Because she ended up alone. That doesn't mean because she was alone doesn't mean that she wasn't happy. Because she was alone doesn't mean that she didn't find fulfillment in life. She just ended up alone. But she had to go back and basically she ended the book with her. I think she ended up like meeting the character in the book, end up meeting like a friend through a cousin, like a man through a cousin. Like, so it's like, girl, we have to end the story with her finding somebody, even if it's a nigga from that she knew from high school. She bumped into him in a grocery store. You cannot let this woman end up alone because that's horrible. But that's life, though. Anyways, Seema and Adam, you know what's so crazy? I really just started loving the whole storyline with Seema. At one point, Seema's storyline fell off to me. I was like, I don't know what this is about. Girl, get her off the show. But it's starting to pick up, and I just hate that it's the end of the show. Lisa and Herbert, you know what I wanted to do at the end of this, at the end, next week, I just want to talk about some of the things where they went wrong with this show. Because even though I loved it, and we've talked about some of this, I think it was last week, a week before last. Even though I love this show, there are things that I have to admit. Right. Anyways, Lisa and Herbert, there's really nothing there. Girl, Herbert is being a Debbie Downer. He feels horrible because he lost the race. It was almost like pushing pathetic. Like, girl, if you don't get your ass up, okay, you lost. Girl, you got this big ass house, all girl, a beautiful family, girl. You know your mama's still living, girl. And you met, girl, girl. If you don't sit down, Brady and Miranda, baby. All right, let's talk about it. I forgot about Brady and Miranda. So Brady, okay, Miranda is, you know, Brady the move kind of moved back in with Miranda because the last time we saw Steve, Steve threatened to knock his head between a washer and a dryer. Baby, so Miranda is at home having dinner with Joy. Brady comes into the house. Girl, Miranda invited the baby mama to Thanksgiving dinner. You know, Miranda's hosting Thanksgiving dinner. That's why Carrie brought all those goddamn pies. Brady didn't know that she had invited Mia, that's her name, to dinner. She basically went back down to the salon to apologize. And when she was talking to Mia, Mia let her know that her mother, basically her and her mother had a fight. And so she didn't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving. So she told her to come over, right? Or do y'all think that Miranda overstepped? Miranda's whole thing is, bitch, it is what it is because the baby is coming. And girl, no matter how you feel about it, girl, it don't matter. I'm torn. I'm torn because a part of me feels like, Miranda, you did overstep. But then the flip side is like, I mean, the bitch is pregnant. Like at this point, and so and like it's like I see both sides. Like Miranda's to me, Miranda is basically saying, "Girl, I don't know, she gonna be around. You having a whole baby, so Thanksgiving or not, you gonna see her in a couple of months, okay? So you might as well go ahead and get it over with and just start being around the lady because you're gonna have to deal with it because you're gonna be in your child's life. That's where I get Miranda is coming from. But then Brady's whole thing, like you could have at least ran the idea by me first instead of just going around me and inviting her to Thanksgiving. Even though I do believe, okay, I do believe that Miranda overstepped, but I also understand why she did what she did, if that makes sense. Because the baby, it's a baby. Bitch, just ain't no, girl, this is a whole human being. I don't know why you trying to pussyfoot. The bitch about to have a baby in a few months. She big as hell. That's why she told you because she couldn't hide it no more. So you can sit here and play this game all you want to. You about to have a whole baby in about 3-4 months. So either she gonna come over tomorrow when Thanksgiving happen, or then she gonna start coming over here every weekend or every day or every other day, well, however y'all do the arrangement with the baby in 3-4 months. So what you wanna do, baby? When he said Joy, he tried to bring Joy into it. Now, mind you, Joy's sitting there like Brady is screaming and hollering, right? And so you know the dogs are real sensitive. So Joy picked the dogs up. He was like, Joy, basically, you tell her that she's basically tripping. And Joy ain't said nothing. Now, let's tell you, baby, Joy is me and I'm Joy. Baby, Joy ain't said, should I say, Joy, don't say nothing. Don't get it, don't say nothing. So, girl, Joy, don't say nothing. Girl, don't say nothing. Stay out of it. Stay out of it. Stay out of it, girl. And she didn't say shit. Now, this is one thing I will say. Brady had me fucked up. Did y'all see how Brady was talking to his mama? Now, let me say something. Girl, Brady is a grown man and Miranda is a grown woman, but I don't like the fact, girl, just listen to me. It would be different if Brady had that energy for everybody involved, but don't think I forgot Brady. how your weak ass, punk ass stormed out the door when your daddy threatened to punch your ass in your face and knock your head between the washer and the dryer. I don't remember you cursing him out. Okay? It sure is funny how you're cursing your mama out, but you didn't curse your daddy out. Now, I would probably have a tad bit more respect for Brady if he cursed out his mama and his daddy. Okay? But he just cursing out the mama, and I don't like that. If you're going to have the same energy, nigga, have the same energy across the board for everybody. That's all I'm saying. I said, oh, Brady, he's one of those. He's a weak-ass punk. Girl cursing at your mama like that. Whatever. Brady was cursing that lady out. Because I wasn't mad at Brady being upset and getting off his chest what he needs to get off his chest. But you didn't have the energy with Steve. With Steve threatening to knock your ass upside your head. Okay? Oops, upside your head, nickel. I said, "Oh, baby, girl," and on some real shit, I'm gonna tell you right now, girl. You know, I'm one of those people who believes that when you become an adult, girl, you're gonna treat me like an adult. But the fact of the matter is, Brady, bitch, you're still a child. Okay, girl, you live with your mama. You depend on your mother and your father for financial help, assistance. So for you to have that type of attitude in my shit, for you to be cursing and doing all that carrying on over my shit, talking to me crazy like you paying some motherfucking bills up in this motherfucker because you got some bitch pregnant. Absolutely not. I said, well, Miranda didn't handle him the right way because Brady would have got handled. You got some fucking nerve walking into my motherfucking house, girl talking to me crazy because I'm trying to include some bitch who you got pregnant. You don't even know the whole name. Okay? I'm trying to do the right thing. You got an attitude with me. You can go stay with your motherfucking dad as far as I'm concerned. That's why I ain't got no children. Cause sometimes we do got our parents fucked up. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes we got our mamas and daddies fucked up. We do. That's why I ain't got no kids. Cause I better got into a fight with somebody. Hello? Just like Jackie and Chantel down the Basketball Wives. Anyways, but no, but for real though. Seema and Carrie. Girl, Carrie feels some type of way. Seema basically asked her that before they put the apartment underneath on the market, that she just want to go ahead and buy it and just own basically the entire building. And she feels some type of way. You know, Carrie is very defensive. Girl, you can't say shit to Carrie. And honestly, she should be, but you should feel like a girl. You know, I forgot until y'all told me. I forgot, and I think I mentioned this last week that y'all told me that Carrie. I forgot Carrie bought that house because of Aiden. Remember, Aiden didn't want to come into the apartment, so that's why she went about that house. God would be bitch, but she can't be mad at nobody but her damn self. So now she's upset because she felt like Seema was trying to say, "Girl," because Seema said when if I think she said if or I can't remember if she said if or if she said when. But she basically, if or when you resell the property, you can sell it for a whole lot more because now you have the whole house. You have the house in the apartment underneath. And so Carrie took that as a Seema was trying to say, girl, I know you're going to sell it because you're not going to be in that big ass house by yourself. Girl. Even though that wasn't what Seema was asking her. Seema was just trying to basically, it was like a business conversation. But Carrie is upset because now I have this big ass house. Girl, I got this big ass house because I was planning on that MAGA wearing all black, shooting up a church and a schoolhouse fool to come live with me and the other two kids. Like she was really planning that house around. I mean, she really bought that house as a plan for those kids to come there and, well, his kids, right? At least two of them because I think the other one is like grown. Anyways, girl. Yeah. And then what else? Oh, that's it, girl. Oh, I forgot. Oh, Lisette. Bitch, Carrie goes over to her old apartment. Is that still her apartment? Is she renting the apartment out to Lisette or did she sell it to Lisette? I can't remember. Y'all let me know. Either way, bitch, girl, Carrie walking to girl, Lisette basically they broke the apartment into two. So she had basically it's like a studio slashed into like another studio. As many times as I've seen Sex in the City, girl, it never registered that was a studio apartment that Carrie lived in. I always thought it was a one. And one day I was looking like, okay, that's a studio. Girl, anyways, um, so girl, they basically put a wall up to make him have an entrance to his. Yeah, she has a door. I think it's like a maze. I think when you open up the main door, that's his entrance to his apartment. I mean, to his side of the apartment. But then her side is this side. It's something crazy. It's something crazy. I can't even explain it. It was crazy. And so when Carrie walked in, she was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, girl, I done gave you my apartment, sold my apartment, whatever she did, and girl, you'd have made it into a goddamn maze. Anyways, and then again, it went off. Carrie changed. She changed the ending, or she added an ending to the book, which I didn't like because I think she should have kept it as it was. Yeah, and then Harry, he didn't want to go to. He doesn't want to go to Miranda's Thanksgiving dinner. It was some stupid ass excuse. I don't know. I thought it was stupid. It was basically when he thought that he was gonna die. He just thought he was just like, let me just make it to Thanksgiving. And so I guess since he made it to Thanksgiving, he just wants to spend it with his family. Girl, I guess, girl, whatever. Oh, and then Anthony and Giuseppe. Giuseppe, what is it called when you ask somebody to marry you? Girl, I lost my train of thought. I'm really trying to end this video because I feel like it's too long because shit didn't happen. Because my video damn near long, damn near the same length as the episode, and shit didn't happen. Proposed. He proposed to Giuseppe. I mean, Giuseppe proposed to Anthony, but Anthony doesn't really know if he wants to marry him now because he feels as though maybe he wants to marry me because I'm a matrix, a mad, and a mule. Shout out to Erica De Niro TV. That's probably what it is. That's what it's given when you was out there, girl, picking out his clothes. Um, it just gives that because Anthony is like 62, and Giuseppe is what, in his 30s, early 30s, I'm assuming. And you walking in basically picking out his sweaters at the mall. Girl. Um, yeah, girl, that's it, girl. All right, that's it. I'll talk to y'all later, girl. Next week is the last episode. Bye, y'all.